Hello, welcome to your Notts Today. I'm Al Booth, bringing you all the big news stories and everything you need to know from where you live. We've got loads in today's show as well. Shall we see what's on the way? We've got the story of the long-promised local library, which still isn't open more than a year after the original build has finished. A petition was handed in to the authority today and it's calling for it to be finally done and dusted for the local community. So we'll see what the council has to say when the saga will finally come to a close as well. Also on the way, a 9-man drug smuggling operation has been uncovered by Nottinghamshire Police. More than £7 million worth of crystal meth and cannabis was discovered and seized during an 18-month probe. As the gang start prison sentences totalling more than 40 years, we'll see the moment it all came crashing down for them. We're going to hear all about the return of a festival that will release your children's inner superpowers as well. The Positively Empowered Kids Festival is back. It's the 5th time at Nottingham Castle and it's going to be hosting an event of workshops and activities to help your kids build their confidence and emotional support. We'll be joined by the festival's organiser as well as headline acts. 15-year-old superstar Freddie Vokes is going to be here. Also in the news, a new conservation effort is preparing to bring back the elk to Nottinghamshire almost 3,000 years after it died out in Britain. Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire Wildlife Trusts are behind the groundbreaking project to reintroduce the European deer at 2 key areas. Find out where and why it's going to help restore some of our most precious local landscapes. Like Jurassic Park, but with elk. And also, it's no big deal, is what Nuno says after Forest owner Evangelos Marianakos came onto the pitch to remonstrate with him after the Reds' draw with Leicester City yesterday. The result meant the Portuguese have secured European football at the City Ground next season, although it was seen as something of a disappointment in the tight race for Champions League place. We'll look at some of the reaction to yesterday's drama it was all on the pitch, wasn't it, really? First though, there are new developments today in the long-running story of Sherwood Library. Campaigners are continuing to battle for the site to be opened, and Nottingham City Council was due to open the new library last summer before delaying it to around Christmas and then again until this summer. It's all because of an estimated 60 defects were needed to be fixed. Many of those still persisted. Today, though, a petition by councillors to get the library open by mid-July was handed to the council. Well, here to tell us about that story is our local democracy reporter, Joe Locker. But before he does, I've got some breaking news about Nottinghamshire County Council, Joe.
Indeed, we have. Yeah, so obviously many people watching will remember last week Reform swept to victory in the Nottinghamshire County Council elections, as they did across the country as well. We've just heard that their new leader has been elected, so that's in Mick Barton. That's going to be the leader of Nottinghamshire County Council for Reform. So he used to be a councillor, or he is a councillor on Mansfield District Council since 2003. Previously, he stood under the Mansfield Independents before he joined Reform with 2 of his colleagues last year. So we should be finding out more in the coming days.
Okay, so once you've got your leader, then you've got the rest of the cabinet, I guess, to be filled. Okay, thanks, Joe. So then, you are here predominantly to talk about Sherwood Library. So just give us a bit of a backstory about what's been going on.
Yeah, it is a saga indeed. I've been keeping tabs on it for a long time. It all dates back to 2017 when it was deemed not fit for purpose. That was the old library that was there. Then in 2020, after a consultation, there was a deal struck with Hockley Developments, a local developer. So it was built at no cost to the council. And on the proviso that the developer was allowed to build a shop, which is now Sainsbury's, and a number of homes. But then in 2023, I found out a contractor went bust while they were sort of constructing the site, which led to delays initially. Then in 2024, there was a summer opening, as you mentioned before. That was missed because they found over 100 defects at the time. In January this year, we were told that all the defects had been fixed and it was going to open this summer, but Libraries campaigner Des Conway submitted a Freedom of Information request, which basically said 60 defects still remained. So, here we are, there's still defects with this building. As you can see, the living wall here, that's one of the problems. All the plants have died, the irrigation system's just not working. The doors as well, it needs a new door system. And there's a roof leak. So lots of issues, and they're still carrying on after all this time.
Okay, so today the petition was handed in. What's it hoping to achieve?
Yeah, so Nayab Patel, who's a councillor for the Sherwood ward, and Adele Williams created this petition against basically sort of calling on their own authority to get the library open by July the 15th. So that was handed in at full council today. We've just got to see, what happens.
Okay, and how has the council responded to it?
So Councillor Sam Lux, who is in charge of the libraries for the council, says, Hockley Developments is responsible under the contract to fix these problems. That's what's causing the delays, she says. In January, when she said the defects have been fixed, she said they were optimistic, based off promises by Hockley Developments that, these would be fixed very soon. But she says that promise, along with many others, was not kept.
Okay, so the developer then, what have they come back to that with?
Yeah, so Hockley Developments tells me that they've never spoken to Councillor Sam Lux, even though she's in charge of libraries for the council. So it's all, as Des Conway, the campaigner, it's a tug-of-war game going on between the developer and the council, which is really, getting annoying for the residents who haven't had a library for years. Yeah. It says the council wanted to do its own fit-out. If it had done it itself back in 2023 when it fit out Sainsbury's and the houses, it would have been open by now. That's what the developer says. And it says they will continue to assist the council and they're hoping to sort of sort it out as soon as possible. And that's all we know. There's no timeline still. Summer's fast approaching. Yeah. And here we are not knowing, when it's going to open.
So you've got the 2 months until mid-July, but that's not necessarily, doesn't mean anything as we sit here.
No. So, right. Just cross your fingers, I suppose.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And obviously you'll be back throughout the week with more about reform and County Council. Thanks. Right, let's see what else is happening in Notts today. A Nottinghamshire drug smuggling operation has been uncovered by police. The 18-month probe ended with 6 of the 9 gang members behind bars for smuggling millions of pounds worth of crystal meth and cannabis into Nottingham from America. Lucy Marshall has more.
And again. And again.
This is the moment an international drug smuggling empire, based in Nottingham, came crashing down. From high-class holidays and designer watches to 17 years in prison, Devante James was just one of 9 gang members smuggling crystal meth and cannabis into the area from the US. More than £7 million worth of the Class A drug was seized during the 18-month probe, along with around £70,000 worth of cannabis. To smuggle the drugs over from America, shipment labels were disguised as items such as weight loss powder. Notts police say the key ringleaders abused their relationships and friendships to dupe people into accepting parcels at their homes, which they believed was for a legitimate purpose. Leaders of the gang were collecting hundreds of thousands of pounds on a monthly basis. These profits were used to fund luxury lifestyles, partying in exotic destinations and flaunting their wealth on social media. But back home, the 9 defendants eventually pleaded guilty at Nottingham Crown Court, and now 6 of them find themselves behind bars. After working closely with the US government and border force, Nottinghamshire Police brought justice to the gang's front doors, and the criminal enterprise was brought to a close. James of Edinley Avenue, Sherwood, is now starting a 17-year sentence, while terms handed to some other members total more than 30 years combined. Lucy Marshall for Notts TV.
Well, time for some more news headlines now from where we are, and a man has been charged with attempted murder after a stabbing outside a co-op in Gedling last week. Simon McHugh also faces a charge of possession of a blade after a man was attacked outside the Westdale Lane East co-op. That was on Tuesday night. A man in his early 30s was left with serious injuries after the attack and is still in hospital. 45-year-old McHugh of Harrogate Road, Carlton, has further been charged with burglary and theft of a motor vehicle. He's been remanded in custody until a Crown appearance on June the 9th. Now, a new conservation effort is preparing to bring elk back to the wild. This is weird, almost 3,000 years after they died out. It is like Jurassic Park. Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire Wildlife Trusts are working together, and they're behind the groundbreaking project to reintroduce the European deer at two key areas. One is Idle Valley Nature Reserve here in Nottinghamshire. The other is over the border at Willington Wetlands in Derbyshire. What a great name. The project is being awarded up to £15,000 by conservation group Rewilding Britain. There will now be a study and public consultations on the plan. I want to be a part of that because I want to know how they do it. I guess they bring them in from overseas rather than just, it's not Jurassic Park at all, is it? Too many films. Now, plans to build a sand and gravel quarry in Rushcliffe Village have received more than 180 objections from residents. Landlogical Limited wants to build a mineral extraction site on land off Green Street, Mill Hill and land at Barton in Fabis off Chestnut Lane. The site would cover more than 200 acres and extract sand and gravel. It's due to be considered by Rushcliffe Borough Council this Thursday, although Nottinghamshire County Council will have the final say at a later date. Those against the plans say they will harm the green belt and create noise and pollution. And as we just heard with Joe Locker, Nottinghamshire County Council has got a new leader, so that is obviously going to take some time to all go through on plan. Right, still to come on your very hot Monday show, we're going to be looking at the weather, what it means for you. If you've got hay fever, it's good news at last, the pollen count is going down. We're also talking to the people behind an innovative festival for kids happening at Nottingham Castle. We'll talk to them next. Hello, welcome back to the show that is nothing but Nottinghamshire. We've got all the news, views and chat just for you. I'm Al Booth, thank you for being here. Now, before we welcome our next local guest on the show, should we see what is going on around Notts? Well, the continued demolition of Nottingham's Broadmarsh Centre is expected to cost £30 million and it's cleared one of its final hurdles. Nottingham City Council approved the sale of the land to Homes England, the UK government's housing and regeneration agency, in March. A final planning go-ahead for them to start demolition on what remains of the structure was signed off on Thursday. Now, if you enjoy a good debate and you've got views on the news, then the Notts TV debate is where you need to be. Frances Finn and her panel of local guests chew over the topics and take you behind the news headlines that impact Nottingham with lively discussions and very strong opinions. You can see this month's episode on demand at nottstv.com or Notts TV official on YouTube. Some of the topics this month: e-scooters, they're back. Are they too dangerous? Should the government relax UK's net zero target? And why is reform on the rise?
The Notts TV debate for the month of May. I'm Frances Finn, and as ever, I bring you three local characters, all passionate about Nottinghamshire, all with, I hope, very different views on the news.
It's about, how is this affecting me as a citizen of this country on a day-to-day basis? But the way it's reported is very much like sports. So it's basically, Labour are winning this, so Reform needs to do this to get that win. It's not about how the country is being run anymore or how the citizens are being treated. It's who's winning, who's getting the points over so-and-so else. Somebody said this, so you need to say that.
The answer to it is every new house that is built in this country from now on has solar panels on its roof. Let's not dig up fields that we can grow crops and be sustainable.
My point is that we can only do very little because, as I keep saying, we are a small part of the world. It's China and India that have got to do more. But I don't like the electric cars, and I don't want to be forced into having an electric car. I don't know whether you think that's right or wrong, but electric cars are dangerous for brand
We haven't
people.
got the infrastructure in this country to everybody have electric cars.
I know, but we were told we'd all got to have them by
So if the dinosaurs have had a bag for life, they'd still be here. Rubbish.
That's not what I'm talking about, though, is it? And you can hear around Nottingham the beep, 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 beep of people riding things without paying for it. So they're riding it, the electric's not working, but you can still move them, and they're throwing them in ditches, and they're throwing them across the road.
Right, time for our next chat now. We've got the return of a big family-friendly fun event like no other coming to Nottingham. The Positively Empowered Kids Festival is back for 5th year. Nottingham Castle becomes a fortress of fun where kids can come together through various activities and workshops. Loads going on, and it's all to help children improve their confidence and mental wellness. So rather than me tell you about it, here to tell us what to expect is the events director, Jackie Wilson, as well as festival's headline act, Freddie Vokes, and it's in Nottingham's CEO, Alex Flint. Welcome all, thanks for coming. Jackie, tell us first of all then about Positively Empowered Kids.
So we're a social enterprise that really is passionate about helping children to be more resilient, more confident in life, to navigate those hurdles that they face. And so this festival really is all about showcasing different ways for them to build their resilience, to find ways that are going to be really supportive of that.
It's a brilliant thing. I speak as a father, it's a brilliant thing. Freddie, now you're the talent there, aren't you, on the day? You do everything anyway, don't you? But tell us about your role on the festival.
So my role is, I've got 2 roles really. So I've got a shared role of kind of comparing the event and doing that with another person.
Or charming.
Yes. And then also I have got 2 sets in the day where I'm going to be performing.
We're going to come back to you performing very shortly because you've got some very exciting news that we've been following. But Alex, how important is something like this to have in our city?
It's essential. Ultimately, we want the city to be vibrant and inclusive, and that starts with children. Without it being family friendly, without these kinds of really, really important events, we can't put hand on heart and say we're trying to give them the opportunities. And I think some of the great concepts within this event around giving children a voice, it's a really key part of our ambition to work with UNICEF and move towards the child-friendly status for Nottingham next year.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's talk a bit more about how this has that effect. When you host these festivals and all the work you do with Positively Empowered, do you then actively see the effects it has on the children afterwards?
Oh, absolutely. Through the day, you can see children. Sometimes they might be finding it a bit difficult, and we encourage them to go to the sensory chill-out area. And we're going to have a real lovely trail this year so that they can really explore all the different things that are going to be possibilities that are going to help them to regulate and manage their emotions. And you see it with all the fun things that they do. You can see them smiling and coming to us and telling us from the previous festivals what fun they've had and how it's made such a difference.
And that's huge for parents as well, isn't it? To help us learn, how to help our kids, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as parents, we don't always know what the solutions are of how to help our children regulate those big emotions, through the different stages of their life. From toddlers, they experience tantrums, become teenagers, and again, it's really difficult to manage those. But if you've got a toolkit, you know what to do, and that's the point of the festival. It could be sport, it could be the arts, it could be animals. It's just finding that right thing for each young person to make it so much easier.
Yeah. Freddie, let's talk about just one of the things you do then, because we haven't got an entire show wouldn't cover everything you do. But you've just won the opportunity to sing with the legend who is Maxi Priest, which is phenomenal. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about how that came about.
Well, I entered a jingle contest, believe it or not, and managed to get first prize, which was to... well, it was $1,000.
Nice.
But they are flying me out to New York in 2 weeks to meet Maxi Priest, perform with Maxi Priest, record with Maxi Priest, and meet some people called the Music Cat Show. And there's some more news coming out about that soon, but it's going to be an amazing experience, and I'm going to get to perform with the legend, which is Maxi Priest.
That's incredible, isn't it? I mean, this is why it's great to have you at the festival as well, so kids can actively see, that... I mean, is that another reason for you getting involved, to pass on... You're 15, aren't you? To pass on everything you've learned.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot. My 15 years on this earth have definitely not gone unused.
Yeah.
I've definitely taken everything with every consequence that goes with it, and I've just run with it, and I've always, if I put my mind to something, I'll do it. And I only heard that said a couple of I think it was a year ago now, and I heard that said from someone to me, and I was like, yeah, like, that is me. If I'm going to do something, I will do it, and nothing can stop me. Of course, unless it's illegal, I'm not going to do anything illegal. But anything that I'll put my mind to, I will do, and I will endeavour to do my best of doing that and support and help others along the way, just to get the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
If I put my mind to it, I'll do it.
I mean, you're wearing merch from your own music and drama school, which is just incredible. Like I say, we could take up a whole show talking about it. So, Alex, it's a great time to have this for Nottingham as well, isn't it? The positivity around promoting our city.
Yeah, I mean, we constantly try to add sort of economic growth opportunities into the city. As you know, we've spoken before about monsters.
Yeah.
You know, this one really is about families. It's about inclusivity, as I said before. But it's about, you know, people having fun as well. It's a really important thing. We talk about mental health, but, you know, for most children, it's about seeing that as an activity where it's not forced, it's natural.
Yeah.
I don't see Nottingham as having a huge amount of doom and gloom, but, you know, I guess I'm lucky to be in the city every day and I see lots of positive things happening. So, and this event is an example of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just remind us of, it's at Nottingham Castle, remind us the date and how people
Nottingham Castle, 22nd of June, it's from 10 till 5. It's just £1 to get in, and you can get those tickets off the Nottingham Castle website, or you can go to our website, positivelyempoweredkids.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for finding time in your schedule for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we'll stay with positive empowerment, shall we? Well, I'm assuming that's what Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marianakis was passing on to Nuno Espirito Santo when the Reds owner confronted him on the pitch after yesterday's 2-2 draw with Leicester at the City Ground. Words were exchanged around the decision to keep striker Taiwo Awoniyi on the pitch after he was hurt colliding with a post in the chase for a winning goal. After the game, Nuno said the discussion was no big deal and the club must keep up that fight for a Champions League place. The point yesterday did guarantee European football for the Reds next season. In a statement after the game, Marianakis said everyone was frustrated over that Awoniyi decision. Notts County's League 2 playoff promotion hopes took a bit of a hit at the weekend. They lost 1-0 to Wimbledon in the first leg of their semi-final on Saturday. Riley Harbottle secured the slender lead for the Dons on the hour. The second leg away at Wimbledon is a lunchtime kick-off on Saturday. County have done it before, it's nothing to worry about. Now, Gedling boxer Lee Wood was stopped by Anthony Kakache in the 9th round of the super featherweight contest at Nottingham Arena on Saturday. Wood was returning to the ring after 19 months out. He was hoping to build a new bid for a world title shot, but Kakache ended that with a brutal series of punches, and the towel came from Wood's corner. After the fight, Wood said he's taken time to consider his future in the sport. Nottingham Forest Netball were beaten 72-58 by Manchester Thunder on Sunday. It's a result that leaves Forest 5th in the new Netball Super League. That's 3 points behind London Mavericks. Thunder's Taylor McEvitt was one of the standout performers for the visitors as the Manchester-based side helped their chances of a playoff berth. Now, time for your picture of the day. Steve Plavinsky sent this great shot of a little gosling at Clumber Park. Lovely. As for your weather, it's lovely, isn't it? It's highs of 26 today we've had, dropping to just 10 degrees overnight. It's going to be highs of 23 tomorrow, nice and sunny as well. And then on Wednesday, it's cooler, but it's still nice and nothing but sunshine. Highs of 20 degrees and low pollen as well. All good news, I told you. Right, there's more news at 6:30. I'll see you again for Notts Today tomorrow at 5:30. Bye-bye.